By now, maybe you've tried the Obsidian Second Brain, maybe you've tried Notion, maybe you've just tried keeping your task lists on Google Docs or Notes, but you'll probably notice a lot of these manual systems, although they might work through sheer brute force, for a few days or a few weeks, they're really, really hard to stick to. And whenever you're utilizing AI to help with these systems, you're constantly having to re-explain yourself. So the process I'm going to take you through today will create a system that automatically evolves over time, so you never need to do any manual work keeping it up to date. And I'm going to show you how to build a system once and for all with AI that you can build upon and stick to. Because most people, they have all these tasks in their head. Your brain is basically like a storage unit. It stores all the understanding of how to complete a process in its head. For example, whether I'm cognizant of it or not, when I create videos or analyze competitors, my brain is thinking, oh, that's a good video, oh, that's an outlier video. But really what I want to do is I want to teach the AI why it's an outlier video, why it's standing out to me, why I think that makes a good piece of content. Because your brain is really just its own algorithm that's created these thoughts based on data and pattern recognition. The AI can do the exact same thing. You just need to spell it out. So in order to get here, where every single workflow in the business, and I'll explain this in more depth later, is automated by AI, firstly, we need to go through a process of knowledge compression, where you take the knowledge out of your brain, you condense it into a series of files. So the first thing that you need to do is an audit. The AI is going to interview you, and you are going to explain every single workflow, put it on the table, and then it's going to log every workflow and create a filing system for those workflows. So I have the prompt. It'll be available as well as the entire starter kit from today's video for free in the description below. The role of this prompt is going to interview you to map every single reoccurring workflow in your life. Now, you probably won't think of every single thing off the top of your head. That's okay. We're just trying to create a base here. Once we have the base of the major workflows, then obviously over time, you can use the same process to add to your workflow library. So you can see now it's already asked my first question. Chances are the AI already knows something about you. If you're using a new AI, then you need to give it context from scratch. What I recommend is, if you are starting a new AI, or I still really recommend that people do this anyway, is that you do one session where you just brain dump and create a context file of everything about your business or yourself. Because if you're going to switch AIs in the future, you want a document which has your entire profile. So you can see here I have a markdown file, which is my entire business profile. What my business is, what my goals are, what the business does, and how I operate in the business and all my employees. It's a file that just self-evolves and updates over time. So if you haven't done that already, create that so the AI actually has a starting place to ask you questions, and then go on with this process, which is the prompt. So you're essentially going to take everything you do, from planning to meetings, invoices, client calls, emails, etc. If it's a recurring task, the AI is going to ask you 4 questions. So what is the trigger? What are the steps and the tools that you need to use to execute that task? How often do you complete that task? And then it's going to give it a score. This score is going to judge to what extent a task can be cloned or automated, and to what extent it can't be automated. Because remember, most tasks are actually a set of steps. So this deal flow pipeline, for example, that I've created, you could call this, landing a deal. But in reality, landing a deal is broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different processes. So sometimes you could see here, there are things that the AI can't automate. The AI genuinely can't automate the final negotiation. It can't automate the fit check. I need to make sure a sponsor's right for my brand. It can't automate the delivery. I still need to create content. But what it can do is it can do everything in between. So what you're trying to do is break down a process that you might think of as just one thing, but actually break it down into a series of micro steps. We're trying to work out how replicatable a workflow is by AI. We're going to give it a score, and then we're going to break it down into a flow like you see here. So after you've gone through the process, what is going to be created is a spreadsheet. I just imported this into Google Sheets with all of the things that I do. And these are just examples, obviously, so not every single thing that I do, with the hours it takes me a month, the repeatability 1 to 5, the judgment it requires, and a clone score. The clone score is the hours per month that it takes and the repeatability. So the more time something is eating, the more you need to prioritize cloning it. So I would start with video production, for example, then content repurposing for this example, then research, etc., etc. Obviously, for you, it's going to look different. Maybe it's something within your job. Maybe it's something within your life. But what's very important is that you're honest with the answers, because this is going to help you prioritize what to automate. So the purpose of the audit is to find out the things that you need to automate. And you can keep this tracker over time and keep adding to it using AI based on new things that crop up or based on things that lose priorities. And if you want to keep it simple and all in one place, you can even create a column on the right with the links to the HTMLs with the exact workflows that you track. And you can even deploy these as websites if you want on Versal, or you can keep them local, whatever you want to do.